Welcome, everybody, to the January 12th, 2026 regular Town Council meeting. We'll start it with the Pledge of Allegiance, please.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Let's see. Can we have a roll call, please?
Mike Joseph.
Here.
Katie Otis. Here. Fran Hudson.
Here.
Doris LeBrand. Here. Adam Lint.
Here.
Lee Trahan.
Here.
And Ray Karen.
Here.
Before we move any further, I'm going to do this publicly. I want to say again, congrats to Councilor Lee Trahan for winning at large again. I'd like to say welcome to Ray Karen for also coming back as an at-large this time. And a special welcome to a first-time, Katie Otis. Congratulations to all three of you. And I think I can speak on behalf of the council to say we are very, very excited to have a full council and looking very forward to working together for the best interests of the people of Winslow. So congratulations and welcome back.
Thank you.
And welcome.
Thank you.
You're more than welcome. And now, do we have any disclosures of interest on any items that are to be voted on tonight? I see none.
If I might, through the chair.
I'm sorry, go ahead, Ray.
There's a discussion item, I believe, about, it might be actually something we vote on, of the Snowmobile Club.
Yep.
Money to the Snowmobile Club. I am a member of the Winslow, Port Halifax Snow Drifters.
So you'll abstain from it?
Abstain from that,
Yep.
that vote.
Okay. Any others? I see no others. And we're going to move on to public comment. Before we do, I'm just going to read. I'm going to read the entire thing, which is lengthy, which I normally just read the second page, but because it's a new year, I felt we should do it. And also going forward, if any of you ever look on the agenda, you can see where you can read the public comments anytime you'd like, right on the agenda itself. Town council meetings are conducted to carry on the official business of the town of Winslow. All meetings of the town council, except executive sessions, are open to the public. The public is invited to attend all town council meetings and to participate in them consistent with the provisions of this policy, with the exception of council workshops, which are primarily intended for the council and staff to review and discuss items prior to their appearance on a regular town council meeting agenda. Public comment is a limited forum designed to allow residents to provide input on specific town matters and to ensure that constituents' voices are heard. To carry out the intent of this policy, the following rules and procedures shall govern the public comment period at all town council meetings. General public comment. A public comment period shall be conducted at all regular town council meetings, at which time citizens will have the opportunity to be heard on matters directly relating to town business that are on the agenda. Comments on topics not on the agenda will not be allowed during the public comment period. The public comment period shall be held before all council business has been conducted at the beginning of each meeting. Individuals addressing the council during the public comment period will limit their comments to up to 3 minutes per meeting. The 3 minutes per individual will be strictly enforced. Individuals cannot give their 3 minutes to other individuals to allow someone to speak for additional time. The entire public comment period will be limited to 30 minutes unless extended by a majority vote of the council upon request by the chair or any councilor. The public comment period is intended for public input only. Council responses are not required, and the session should not become a back-and-forth discussion or debate. Councilors may take issues under advisement and address them during the meeting when appropriate. A general public comment period will not be conducted at workshops, emergency meetings, or special meetings of the town council. Speakers must be recognized by the chair before speaking. Since meetings are broadcast and recorded, persons wishing to speak must use the public podium, give their full name and their district or address, although an address is not required. Comments must be limited to issues on the current agenda. Public comment on matters not related to the town's business will not be allowed, as to ensure all meetings are carried out in a productive and efficient manner, in keeping with the interests of all of who attend and participate in a council meeting. All comments and questions must be directed to the chair or through the chair. The public comment period is intended for public input only. Council responses are not required, and the session should not become a back-and-forth discussion or debate, nor are councilors required to answer questions or to respond in any manner. Councilors may take the issues and comments under advisement and may address them during the meeting when appropriate during discussions of that specific agenda item. Per state law, found in 30-A MRS 2702, complaints or charges made against an individual employee will not be permitted or discussed in public session. We encourage compliments or complaints to be addressed directly by contacting the town manager or follow-up in review. Comments related to the following will be ruled out of order by the presiding officer. Specific situations that are in litigation, including those in which the town is partly issues or a criminal or legal nature, should be addressed with the Winslow Police Department personnel matters. If a resident wishes to address issues not on the agenda, they are encouraged to contact their district councilor, the council chair, at-large councilors, or any other council member. If that councilor deems the issues appropriate for further discussion, it may be placed on a future agenda, at which time public comment will be permitted. Meetings are to be conducted with order and efficiency. Civility and proper decorum are expected at all times to allow for the proper ability to conduct town business. Individuals are required and expected to conduct themselves in a respectful manner to everyone in attendance. Swearing, shouting, etc. will not be tolerated. Any individual who engages in disruptive or disorderly behavior that interferes with the meeting will be asked to stop. If the behavior continues, the individual may be asked to leave or then be removed from the meeting if necessary. And now we will go to public comment. If anybody would like to get up and speak from the public on anything on the agenda tonight.
I'll be the first one. I love being back in high school, getting up in front of the class. To the councilman, chairman, and the women of the board, my name is Tom Averill. I live on 160 Wyman Bog Road, out here in Winslow, off the Maple Ridge Road. I'm the last house on the left. Kind of scary, I've been told, but I'll live with it. I understand it's going to be tabled tonight about paving the Wyman Bog Road. I support that 150%. I've been living there since 1984. I have raised a family out there. I have fought that road not being plowed properly, but mostly in the springtime when the spring thaw hits. The road gets closed. My neighbors and I had to transport our children out to the Maple Ridge Road to get them on the school bus and pick them up at night. This road has been repaired numerous times over the year. There was, many years ago, maybe 10 years ago, you folks had hired a new public works director. Came from the woods country. He was a wood road builder up there. And he used his knowledge to rebuild the first quarter mile of that Wyman Bog Road, which was nothing but swampland that got filled in. He dug it down 6 or 8 feet, put in what I call Foursquare, which is really coarse blue rock and crushed up. That's the best part of the road. He also told me that the previous year coming, he had money set aside to continue down our road. That never occurred because he called me and told me that the money got taken away and used to put a third lane in for Alcom on the 201 so that they wouldn't disrupt traffic going to Augusta to our legislature down there. And I've heard another story about other money that was used. I think it's high time with the amount of people. I think there's like 15 houses out there now. and most of the people live on, towards my house, and there's children involved. And I'd like to see that road paved, get rid of the mud runs in the spring, have them to call tow trucks that turn around and refuse to come out once they see how bad the road is. I drive a four-wheel drive, my wife drives a four-wheel drive Explorer, and we fight to get down at times. And I've had my neighbors go out with their tractors and pull people out of the road. And I think it's time that we bite the bullet and we do something with that road. I know there's drainage that needs to be done down my way to get the road. There's some springs as you come down the hill towards what I call the flats in the middle of the road. And it's time that the town spends some money out there for us. For what we pay for taxes out there, I think we deserve it. And that's all I have to say.
Thank you, Tom.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Just 5 seconds short. An extra 5 seconds.
Good afternoon. Tim Willett, 159 Lyman Bog Road. I agree 100% with what Tom has said. And we had an incident with a neighbor, Bill Glidden. He had a severe heart attack. Rescue would not come down that road because it was so bad. I had to put him in the bucket of my tractor and take him out to the ambulance. That's how bad it was. And they never come out to fix it. It was 3 weeks later before they finally come out and put something in the mud so that we could get rescue vehicles in and out of there and fire trucks. The school bus, they still had to wait until spring thaw to do something about it. Right now, you go out and look at it, and there's a foot rut going right down the center of it where they use straight salt on the road, and it's now mud season for us out there. You hit that and the car goes right to the ditch. And I think it's time that we get something done to that road. For the one fact, safety. Thank you.
Thank you, Tim.
Thanks, Tim.
Does anybody else like to speak on anything on the agenda? Now is the time to do it.
What about the gate issue that you and I had talked about?
We're going to talk about that a little, but you can talk, or she can talk.
I just assume wait to see what Mr. Lynn has to say about it, and then, yeah, I'd like to get up and talk at that time.
Okay, are there any other public comments? Going, gone. We will move on to the approval of minutes of the previous meeting. I'd like to put a motion in to approve for 12/8/25 minutes, 12/29/25, and 1/5/26, as presented, all the minutes of those.
So move.
Second.
Anybody have anything they want to say about any of the minutes? Can we get a vote, please, Audra?
Doris LaBranch,
Yes.
Adam Lind,
Yes.
Lee Trahan,
Yes.
Ray Karen,
Yes.
Mike Joseph,
Yes.
Katie Otis,
Yes.
and Fran Hudson.
Yes.
The motion to approve December 8th, December 29th, and January 5th, 26 minutes, all approved as presented, 7-0.
Moving on to communications, A, motion to approve Deborah Russell to the Board of Assessment Review. Do we have a motion?
I make that motion.
Second.
I believe Deb was on this prior, correct? She's re-upping.
Yep.
And can we have a vote?
Adam Lind,
Yes.
Lee Trahan,
Yes.
Ray Karen,
Yes.
Mike Joseph,
Yes.
Katie Otis,
Yes.
Fran Hudson,
Yes.
and Doris LaBranch.
Yes.
Motion passes 7-0.
Next up, we're going to talk about the Events Committee. Currently on the agenda, there's only 2, but I understand there's 3 more names.
Yeah, I have an application from Corinne Bushy, and
Busher.
Busher, Katie Otis turned one in, and so did Fran Hudson.
Can we, and that's 5, correct? That's 5, total
Yep.
5? So I know they were looking for 11, which seems a little large of a number for a committee. 5 is an odd number, and I don't see anybody who stepped up. I believe that's probably why Katie and myself put our names on there. We don't want to lose this. So,
Through the chair. Who are the other two names?
Joshua Taylor and Denise Whitman.
Okay, I have those 3 here and Corinne. Who are the other 2? So I have Josh, Denise, Corinne,
Fran and Katie.
Fran and Katie. Okay.
Through the chair, if I may, I would love to be on that committee. I forgot to put my application in, so.
that's 3 of us. Are we allowed to do that? It's not a majority, but can 3
Oh,
of us
that's
be on the
okay.
committee?
I just, just as long as I'm communicating.
You can
the meeting,
volunteer
I
to be
will,
on
I
a
will
wing of
just
it.
come to the meetings and. that will
As
be- I
many
don't need to
people
be-
can go to the meetings as they
Yeah,
want.
right.
And you can have as many
You,
counselors in one room? I just don't want to.
oh, well, true. So is it 4
I mean-
counselors in a room is a quorum?
Yes.
4 is a
Yeah,
quorum,
4 is.
absolutely.
No, so he could join.
I don't know. We'll get legal on that, because if we can't, you really want, I mean,
Yeah.
I was the one that brought forth this committee, and I'd love to be on it, but if.
No, I was just offering some help, that's all.
And I knew you would, right?
Well, I
That's
think
a-
ultimately, we're gonna have subcommittees that are,
Right.
Yeah.
gonna need help for different events. and
Yes, right.
things.
If you
Through
need
the
any
chair.
help, just let me know.
Through the chair. Hey, right, there's the redistricting committee is short 1.
We'll
If you
get to
wanna join
that
a
right
committee,
when we get to it, though. That's coming up.
You're welcome.
Not as fun.
Of course,
I have,
of course, I'd love to be on that.
Something to think about. So,
That is fun.
again, they originally wanted 11. I think 5 is an odd number, which you need on a committee anyway. So I think we should, if everybody's in agreement, just move it to 5 and move forward with this committee. If everybody agrees.
So move.
Show of hand.
It's not a resolution or anything, so it just needs to be a show of hands, really. And that was 7 show of hands, Audra.
okay.
Through the chair, if somebody decided to come in at a later time, would that be okay?
The committee's now 5 people, we just voted for that, but the whole thing is there will be subcommittees. So
Okay.
if, say, Katie's running, say, a 4th of July parade, she can have as many people on there to help her, so.
Okay,
There'll
thank
be
you.
room for anybody. We're not gonna turn people away, that's for
Definitely
sure. No, and the more involvement from the community, the better. It would be nice to have more people from the community. And I'm sure we'll get it once it gets rolling. I'm positive about it. And we're going to move on to the reports of committees and commissions. We'll start
Hold
with
on,
our.
Fran, hold on 1 second.
sorry.
And we have to vote to appoint Josh, Denise, Corinne, Fran, and Katie to
What do we,
the
what-
events committee.
okay, to the committee.
Yeah.
I thought we just,
You said there was gonna only be 5 people to the committee, and
Oh,
that
you
was a
wanna
show
do
of
it for
hands.
5,
So now we
and
just
then-
need to vote to get those people on the committee.
Through the chair. I'll abstain from that vote,
you'll abstain from the vote.
voting for me, right?
Well, is,
Is that how it goes?
Voting for them.
you have, there's
If
no money
anybody has a
involved?
problem with Katie or myself voting with it, you just say so, we won't vote. It'll still be the majority of whoever's voting, so it won't matter. But thank you. Should we abstain? Does anybody want us to abstain? Lee, I can't see you, I'm
Oh,
sorry.
I'm good.
Ray, you're okay?
Good, just,
Lee Trahan?
Yes.
Ray Karen?
yes.
Mike Joseph?
Yes.
Katie Otis?
Yes.
Fran Hudson?
Yes.
Doris LeBranch?
Yes.
And Adam Lynn?
Yes.
The motion passes 7-0.
Okay. Again, reports of committees and commissions. We'll start with our town manager.
Good evening, everyone. For the budget, department heads met with the town manager and finance director to review their individual FY27 proposed departmental budgets. These budget meetings will be completed in January in advance of the town's council's budget workshop scheduled for February. For staffing, a part-time project manager position has been created, and the town is currently accepting applications. This position is designed to support the town manager and department heads with project coordination, grant administration, and capital improvement planning. The role emphasizes administrative and funding oversight for town's projects rather than operational supervision performed by the Director of Public Works. The town is also continuing to accept applications for a full-time code enforcement officer position. At this time, we still have Jeff from KV Cog. He's helping out every Tuesday. It's been really helpful for us. And we still have Chief Murphy doing occupancy permits. So December 9th, 2025, I met with the Parks and Recs Director, Public Works Director, and the town section for cemeteries to establish the foundation, goals, and work plan for improving cemetery management within the town. Areas of focus include record keeping, mapping, land planning, and long-term capacity needs. The implementation of a modern digital tracking and mapping system, along with potential land acquisition, has been identified as a priority. I'm not going to make a long spiel out of this, but I've heard that it's been years since people have been able to bury their own loved ones in town, and that doesn't sit very well with me. So we're actively looking to rectify this issue. We're trying to bring this system to the 21st century so we could actually have an online system, a database where you could actually get online, track where people are at, track where your loved ones are at, where they're buried, which cemetery. There's a lot of cemeteries in town, more than people think there are, and they all need to have access to them. So there's a lot of work that we're undertaking here, but I'm really excited to see where this goes, and I'm hoping the end result is actually acquiring land and getting Winslow residents to be able to be buried in their own town. For general work, Sunset Heights, the town held a bid opening on December 11th, 2025 for Phase 1 of the Sunset Heights Sewer and Storm Drain Improvement Project and received 5 bids. At a special meeting on December 29th, 2025, the town council awarded the contract to Ranger Construction, which submitted the lowest responsive and responsible bid in an amount not to exceed $7,611,382. Chaffee Brook Pump Station upgrades Phase 2. The town held a pre-construction meeting with T-Buck and the engineering team on December 11, 2025. Substantial completion is expected to take 700 days, or February 11, 2027. The final completion is expected to take 750 days, or April 2nd, 2027. This project is funded in part by congressionally directed spending, CDS grants, administered by the U.S. EPA and Maine Clean Water State Revolving Fund, the CWSRF program funding. Winslow Junior High School, everyone will be happy to hear this. A change order has been executed on December 17, 2025 to address asbestos-containing waterproofing on approximately 2,600 square feet of exterior concrete foundation wall. The total estimated cost for labor, materials, equipment, and disposal is $52,885. The good news, the expected completion date is actually this Friday, January 16th. So it should be flattened, filled, graded, and hopefully built upon in the coming years here.
So
That
through
is
the
all I got.
chair, so all the asbestos is removed from that premise.
Removed.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Through the chair, if I might, Mark, how's the old tanks? Are they out, or are they going to be out, or?
Did you get back with Dave regarding the pipe and everything, the piping through there?
Go back to them tomorrow.
Okay.
The old tank that was there is still there. It was abandoned in place and we left.
I'm so sorry, people can't hear you.
I can. The existing oil tank is still there. It was abandoned in place in '94, we left it there. It's perfectly safe. Probably have to be addressed when you guys do a development there in the future, but right now it wasn't an issue. It didn't bother them to do anything that they had to do, so.
So it might be an issue in the future, if, depending on the.
Depending what you guys do, how much of a footprint do you guys take? We know where it is, so. You can work around it or you can take it out. The thing is, it's gonna be fun to take out because I believe it's filled with sand or concrete, so. It's a big tank full of, it's a big anchor.
It's not easy, I mean, once we fill it back in, that part of the project is covered, right? It's not disturbed right now.
Correct.
So it's not easier to take them out now because we still have to do all the digging, right?
Thing is, that would have been another change order that we didn't have anticipated and we never even looked at a cost, so I have no idea what the cost would be to take it out.
That would have probably went beyond the 800K that was
Oh,
discussed.
there's no question.
No question.
There's no question. We're gonna.
Right now, we're still under that.
We're gonna have to deal with it, again in the future. I mean, it's great to
It's a
have everything
possibility.
down, believe me.
Sure.
That's, I'm totally okay with the junior high being down, I tell you. But that's something we'll have to discuss in the future.
For sure.
Through the chair, those tanks are empty though, right?
That one, there's only one tank, it's a 10,000 gallon tank that was.
Yeah, and there's no oil in it.
No, that was emptied in 1994 and
Yeah.
abandoned in place.
Did they fill it in with anything else?
Either sand or concrete, I don't know what, but she's full.
No. Okay, thank you, Paul.
Yep.
Through the chair. When reviewing the minutes, I noticed that Public Work had a vacant position. You still plan on filling that vacant position?
I am, because
Okay,
it's a truck driver's position.
I just wanted to make sure. Thank you.
Through the chair. Hey, Mark, you mentioned that we're still seeking the code enforcement officer. What challenges are we experiencing? Because it seems like we've been kind of on the hunt for a while for that.
Statewide challenges.
Okay.
I've talked to numerous town managers. I mean, one of the recent ones that reached out to me, and I quote, she said, "I'm ready to hire the roadkill across the street that's a possum on the side of the road," because they can't get
Is it a
anyone.
pipeline issue? Is it qualified candidates?
It's all of it.
Okay.
Nobody wants it. I'm starting to get more applicants. Actually, in the last week and a half, I've received probably almost half a dozen applicants. So it went almost a month where I've received, or actually it was about a month and a half where I've received one. So there's a little bit of, the holiday season's also a tough time. If you're hiring, terminating, anything like that, it's a tough time for job seeking. But I would like to say that I actually have a couple that are fairly qualified. So we'll be conducting interviews, and what I won't do is slap a Band-Aid on this position, because we're
Yeah,
not going to be
just-
hunting for another one in the summertime.
Yeah. No, you want someone who's going to have longevity.
Exactly.
That's for sure.
Right.
Thanks for that.
Yeah, you're welcome. Thank you.
Any other reports?
I have.
Oh, Audrey, yes, you do. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Sorry, I'm going to put my tax collector hat on just for a moment. We are getting ready to send out foreclosure notices for the 2023-24 tax year. We have 32 notices going out. That's roughly $75,000 in taxes that are still outstanding from 2024. So just, we're sending out certified mail, regular mail, trying to get a hold of these people to remind them. As of February 23rd, the property will be foreclosed on, and the town will own that property. We don't want to own people's property. We want them to be able to make that payment and keep their property. So I just wanted to let council know what was going on.
Are they allowed to make partial payments, or do they have to pay the full amount they owe?
At this point, they have to pay the full amount they owe. They have the whole year that the taxes are due, and then we place a lien on that we give them a 30-day notice saying in 30 days we will place a lien on your property, and then we give them 18 months to pay it. At all that time, they can make partial payments, they can pay whatever they want to pay, as long as by the date of the foreclosure, it automatically happens. There's no stopping it. At that point, it has to be paid in full. We
And
don't
that was
set up
35 people, you said?
32.
32.
We don't set up any formal payment arrangements, but if you wanted to come in and pay $1 a week, we're not going to say no. Pay what you can. If people cannot make their payments and they want to ask the council to give them a poverty abatement, that's a possibility. That's up to council. That will be done in an executive session. They have to provide their financial records for you. And usually that has to be done in the February meeting, because once the February 23rd date passes, it's too late. We will give them 90 days to redeem or buy back their property. However, they have to come up with all the taxes that they owe, not just this 1 year, plus another year ahead. So that's a lot of money compared to just being able to pay off that 1 year that's currently going to a foreclosure. So.
Through the chair.
Mike, you have the floor.
I'd like to know, there's programs out there that can help these people out. Have they all been made aware that these programs can help them out?
If they've contacted us, we've made them aware. Some people don't qualify. I don't know their situation if they haven't reached out. There are some state programs that they have to go through the state to get. We have the applications, I believe, in the assessing office, but we don't administer them.
Do we have any information that can be put on the town website that could help these people out if maybe they don't want to ask? And they could
Believe
see
it's
it?
there, but I will double check and,
Because some people won't ask whatsoever. They'd rather, if they
Right.
see it, they'll reach out to them.
sure. I know we have 2 people currently that are in that state program, so their taxes are, paid up and stuff, but,
I think a little bit of what might be confusing, it was for me anyway, was we're not talking about the lien that's placed on the property for not paying their taxes. This is the actual foreclosure, correct?
so after 18 months, the lien automatically forecloses.
So they've had 18 months to deal with all of this before the foreclosure of February 23rd.
And in the whole year that the taxes were due.
Right.
Yes.
Right.
Through the chair,
Go ahead, Doris, you got the floor.
out of these 32 locations, are they all residential homes or any of them businesses?
They're not businesses, they're either homes or land.
Okay.
And that is not including personal property, that's a separation. These are real estate taxes only.
A lot of money.
So if you think you're on that list and you get some mail, please call the number. My number is there, my extension. I will help you, whatever I can do to help, but
Thank you, Audra.
you're welcome.
Can we have a motion to approve all reports as presented?
So move.
Second.
The vote, please.
Ray Karen,
Yes.
Mike Joseph.
Yes.
Katie Otis.
Yes.
Fran Hudson.
Yes.
Doris LaBranch.
Yes.
Adam Lind.
Yes.
And Lee Trahan.
Yes.
Motion to approve all minutes passes 7-0.
Moving on to tabled business, there is none. Old business, there is none. New business. Motion to approve order number 01-2026. The town council has resolved to formally adopt Title 30-AMRS 25013A, which provides guidelines for the determination and counting of write-in votes during elections. This important measure is aimed at ensuring a transparent and accurate process for recognizing and tallying the voices of voters who choose to express their preferences to write-in candidates. Do I have a motion?
So move.
Second.
As for discussion, I'll start by saying that this came through the Charter Review Committee because what was happening, and if you want to use, I believe it was 2024 as an example, when we had a write-in candidate, it never really came to surface as to how this works for the town of Winslow. Do we adopt what other towns use and follow state statute on counting write-ins? How can a write-in write their name? How can they legally get the seat? So because it was questioned and the committee brought it up, we sent it to legal. And what this motion is going forward, what you would do is if somebody wanted to run if I run, I have to declare, like 90 days prior to the election, I have to get signatures and then present it to the clerk, and then your name gets placed on a ballot. With write-ins, the way it was working, or the way it worked in 2024, they did not have to declare. Their name was, not their name, but they were placed on the ballot, running against, at the time, a candidate who was on the ballot. The way it should work is, legally, if there is nobody on the ballot, you can do it that way. You don't have to declare. You can be counted as a write-in. But if you have a legal candidate's name on a ballot, no write-in votes are to be counted. They're just blank. You toss them aside, you don't tally them, you don't count them, you don't present them. So adopting this, because Winslow really never had a set way of doing it, it all depended, I guess, I'm not sure, because it was questioned back then as well. I think it was whatever was the norm at the time of how they were doing it, I'm not sure. But anyway, this motion for this would make it so that we follow state statute, which is what Waterville follows, which other towns follow. That way, it makes it much easier for the clerk when it's time to tally up votes. If somebody's written their name in there, it's not there unless they've done it the legal way, which is this motion.
Or if there's no candidates.
If there's no candidate, they definitely cannot declare. They can still be written in. You can write in somebody's name, and that would be legal. But if there's a candidate already on the ballot, you can't do it. Which makes sense, which makes it a little fair, actually. Anybody else? have
If I
anything?
might, through the
Sure,
chair.
of course, right.
I think I caused a lot of this situation happen. I will say, in this last election, prior to the election, at the at-large position, there was 5 of us, Mr. Trahan, Mr. Holtz, Mr. Malone, Mr. Buzzell, and myself that were there. We got our signatures, we got everything in order, we went through Audra to get everything done. Would have been, I think, detrimental at the last minute to have somebody that decided to run, it would be a write-in candidate who said they could have been, under the current system, they could have declared themselves a write-in candidate, and at that point in time, I think it would have been an injustice to the 5 of us that worked for doing the things the right way and took the initiative to run. The other side of that coin would have been when I decided, when I put my papers in a year and a half ago, 2 years ago now, I had all intentions of running for the office. And then through a variety of reasons, it just wasn't feasible for me to run. So I decided that it was not something that I could undertake at that present time, knowing that I didn't think at that particular time, for whatever reasons, I couldn't fulfill the 3 years that I would have been in service. So at that point in time, it was past the date that somebody could, under this system, could have been the write-in candidate. I know there was a person on the ballot, and I can understand that fully. But if we adopt this, there's pros and cons to everything, that then somebody wouldn't be able to be, if I dropped out like I did, then even though there was somebody might have run if I wasn't, if I hadn't been there with the intentions of running, then that person that would not have the opportunity to run again. So you got the 5 people that, that did everything they wanted to do and did it right. Would have been injustice, but it's not a clear-cut situation. I think that there's pros and cons to this, but I think at this particular time, the pros outweigh the cons for adopting a policy, and this policy.
And what you're saying is, if Doris or Adam were running, and they were the only one, and they backed out, a write-in candidate can then do it. They
Yes,
can.
that's right.
So there's no bad side of, you either can or you can't. You either are fair, or like you said, you'd have felt injustice. The 5 of you took all that time and did everything the correct way, and somebody slid in at the last minute. And I think that's what the state statute says.
Yes, I believe that we should follow state statute. The only downside, which, maybe I didn't communicate fully, was even though Doris was on there, when I backed out, somebody might have wanted to run, but because I was running, didn't run, and then they would have had that opportunity to run as a write-in. Now, right or wrong, that would have been, that's just the way it is. That's just the way it is. And, So.
I wasn't afraid, Ray. I wasn't
Oh,
afraid.
no, not at all. It's not, and it's not about an individual. It's about a situation. It's not about
Right, because you could
an
have a group of
individual.
people.
We're talking strictly non-personality type of affair here. It's a system.
But if you had two people and you had a group of people that were gonna vote for you, but if you weren't in there, somebody else might have stepped in the same place for that demographic. or-
Yes, that's exactly what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
I think, that what we're voting on today is a good thing. And there's always gonna, anytime we vote, there's circumstances that could happen that it's not good. But overall, I think it would be a benefit, so that somebody couldn't come in, the five of us running for two at-large positions, there wouldn't have been 6 and 7 that could have altered the vote.
Yeah.
And then the other example, of course, Katie, is with District 2 had nobody on the ballot. So Katie won her seat as a write-in. And there was other names as write-ins as well. So that worked out fine too, because we have a sitting councilor now where we would not have if we don't allow this. So, anybody else? Can we have a vote?
Mike Joseph,
Yes.
Katie Otis,
Yes.
Fran Hudson,
Yes.
Doris LaBranch,
Yes.
Adam Lint,
Yes.
Lee Trahan,
Yes.
Ray Karen.
Yes.
Motion passes 7-0.
This is an order, so I'm only gonna, I'll put in a motion, can we waive the second reading, or do you guys want to put it off? Do it all over again?
If I might, through the
Sure.
chair. I don't think, normally we'd waive the second reading in the past when it's been an emergency, or if there was election coming up. I think at this point in time, it's prudent to wait the 30 days for the next.
Just so you understand, this has to be changed within 90 days of the next vote.
Yeah,
So you're
and when
pushing
is
it a
that?
little bit if you wait till February. That's the only reason I say to waive it. There is a 90-day,
There is a.
there is a
it's
90-day,
close.
if you don't do this, it won't go through to the next vote. You have to have 90 days notice before,
After 30 days, and 90 more.
right, so that's even more,
So
so.
after February, March, April, May, we don't have an election till June. and
You
that
gotta wait
election-
30 days after you approve this, and then 90 days after that?
Nope, just 90 days.
Anyway, I think it's just pushing it when there's no reason to. It's a 7-0 unanimous. It's how we're
Somebody
going to
make a
vote.
motion. Somebody make a motion to waive the second reading.
I'll make a motion to waive the second meeting.
Second.
And a vote.
Mike Joseph,
Yes.
Katie Otis.
Yes.
Fran Hudson,
Yes.
Doris LaBranch,
Yes.
Adam Lint,
Yes.
Lee Trahan,
Yes.
Ray Karen.
No.
Motion to waive second reading passes 6-1.
Okay. Moving on to,
Now we have to vote for the
the
second reading.
We have
What's
to
that?
vote again.
We have to
have to
vote
do it
for the
again.
second reading. We waive the second
Oh,
reading.
I'm sorry, yep.
That means we have to vote for
Okay.
the second reading now.
Mike Joseph,
Yes.
Katie Otis,
Yes.
Fran Hudson,
yes.
Doris LaBranch,
Yes.
Adam Lint,
Yes.
Lee Trahan,
Yes.
Ray Karen.
Yes.
Motion passes 7-0.
Okay. Moving on to resolution number 032026, authorization to approve donating revenues for snowmobile regulations to the Fort Halifax Snowdrifters Club. This is presented by the town manager.
So moved.
Second.
And the discussion?
I may through the chair.
Who said that?
Me.
I'm going. Go ahead, Lee.
I don't know who can, I don't know if Mark can answer that, but do we know an estimate or average yearly on what that dollar amount is?
No, I don't. It all depends on the number of registrations. Tanya's probably listening, and I'll probably get a text message in a few minutes. But if she does, I will let you know what it is.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just as, for some people who may not understand or didn't catch it, This is just to authorize when people register their snowmobiles, they pay to get it registered, the money goes to the town. The town then is going to turn around and give it to the Winslow's Fort Halifax snowmobile to groom and keep up the trails in Winslow. So they just give them the money back to the people who are using the trails.
Through the chair.
She just wrote back. She says it's between $1,200 and $2,000.
Okay. That was
There you go, Lee.
Thanks, Dana.
Modern technology.
Thanks, Dana.
Anybody else?
Through the chair. So do we recoup any expenses that we have for like processing materials, things like that prior to?
Not for this.
Okay.
It's not enough. It's not a lot of money.
Instead of them asking for money in the budget, this is how we give them their.
If you're a snowmobiler, you approve it, right, Ray? Ray's abstaining. So can we have a vote with, Ray's going to abstain, of course.
Yeah, Katie Otis.
Yes.
Fran Hudson.
Yes.
Doris LeBrand.
yes.
Adam Lint.
Yes.
Lee Trahan.
Yes.
Ray is abstaining, and Mike Joseph.
Yes.
Motion passes 6-0 with 1 abstention.
Okay, moving on to discussion items. The first one up is the review of the safety committee meeting. And because I don't see a name on who presented it or sponsored, who is speaking?
It was
That's
kind
us.
of a combination of everybody putting in questions about the safety committee stuff, so I didn't put anyone's name on there.
But who's going to talk about it? It says review of. Who's reviewing?
We are. I have Paul.
Okay.
Since I put the committee together. We actually had 4 items that we discussed. The first one, the Roderick Road lighting, that had been a concern, that it was dark on the corner, that somebody had almost bumped
I
a
am so
pedestrian.
sorry. I can't hear you.
How's this?
That much
I
better.
don't know. Is it turned up?
I don't know.
Go ahead.
We had, one discussion was the Roderick Road intersection lighting.
Oh, yes. Yep.
And that was a concern that somebody had made a complaint that it was dark and almost bumped a pedestrian. So I looked at it, a lot of guys looked at it. There is a street light at the intersection already. It's on the other side of Benton Avenue because that's where the poles are. It's on the riverside. So it doesn't light that far up into the intersection. But some of the committee members are very familiar with who the individual is that's in that intersection, normally being on his phone and smoking. So they were going to have a discussion with him. I believe Randy was there and
Just to make
Murphy.
it clear, when you guys are talking about this safety committee, you're talking about yourself, the fire chief, maybe?
fire chief, police chief, and 2 citizens at large.
Okay. And you guys all discussed the Roderick Road lighting, and
did.
besides you, they all came to the same conclusion?
I was looking at it as a lighting, and the other officers know the individual. They're going to talk to him to try to get him to not stand in that intersection and smoke cigarettes and play on his phone.
So is it only one person that brought this forward? Who brought the Roderick Road lighting to the council?
She's right behind you.
Doris did.
Doris.
Sorry.
Do you remember who brought that to you on the Roderick Road lighting?
yeah,
Not,
when I-
not the name, I don't want the name, but
Yes, it
is
was
it
one of my
just one
constituents.
person?
Yes, but I've been through that same issue that this individual had, where it's very dark at that corner, at the top, and if you have individuals walking and they're clothed with dark clothes, it's very difficult to see them, as you saw what just happened in Fairfield.
Through the chair, it is important to note that, of course, safety matters, and that's paramount. And if lighting is in fact needed there, then it's needed. But in order to spend thousands on lighting versus just reports of this one individual, and it's just reports of one individual, it's not multiple people. I think first action that the safety committee came to is let's discuss this with the individual and try to get him off the street.
Well, and I understand that, but it shouldn't matter if it's one person or 100, in all honesty. If somebody's not feeling something's not safe, they should speak up, and not everybody dares to. So I understand what you guys are saying, that it may be coming, but you just had a councilwoman just say she felt the same way. It's her neighborhood as well.
I mean, sure,
And
it's
that
your
should-
call. You guys want to spend the money and put up another street light further up the street, but
No, but I just want to make it clear, you are not the only one saying this. The fire chief police
All
chief.
five of us
and-
agreed that we were not recommending a street light.
All right, that's what I was going with. And the other part of this whole recommendation thing too, this safety review committee is a recommendation. It doesn't mean the council has to go with what they recommend. So just so everybody's on the same page, we truly appreciate your recommendations because you're the guys. So you got a 5-0 saying not needed for Roderick Road lighting.
Correct. Let us work with that individual first.
Nope, I don't have an issue with what all 5 of you said.
Like I said, the other officers were actually the ones that were familiar with this individual. I'm not out there at night very often. so-
Right. No, if it's 5-0, it's pretty good for me. Anybody else? Everybody
Yeah,
good?
Through the chair, so Paul, would you let us know how this individual's responding to this and if it's working out?
Yeah, we'll have another meeting at some point here,
Okay, thank you, Paul.
but we'll see how they work out with them and see what happens.
Is
in
it
the future.
possible to knock on any doors and just ask people if they felt there was some issue, or is that going too far?
I can give you my constituent's name, and if you want to reach out to that person.
Is it the same person
You
who's,
could have them reach out to me.
Okay.
okay, moving
I think
on.
I may have included you in that email response anyways.
We're ready, Paul.
I was waiting for you guys. The next one was South Grand and Russo Street. That was recommended to put in a 4-way stop sign, or as we call them now, an all-way stop sign. So we recommended that was probably a good idea.
I'm so sorry I can't hear you. You said
Yeah, he did.
he recommended it?
Yeah.
So it's a yes for what? The stop sign, 4-way
Yes,
stop?
For an
Four-way.
all-way stop, yes. So that will require an ordinance from the council
It'll be coming.
and a public hearing and second reading.
Okay.
And the next
If I
up,
might through the chair.
I'm sure. Go ahead, Ray.
South Grand and Russo, give me a landmark there,
St. John's School.
St. John's School.
You know, when you're
Church.
coming, there's already one 4-way stop, and then when you go on the other side of the school, there's not a 4-way
Okay,
stop.
yep, okay.
That open lot.
And a lot of it is speeding down that way, so that would, at least if they do the California go through the stop, they're at least slowing down, right?
California rule.
Yeah, the California roll.
Is that what you call it? And then they go right to the red lights?
California roll. Yeah.
Or turn on the red?
Nobody stops in California.
If I might through the chair, you know, when you put a stop sign up, people go through there probably for the last 30 years without, how do you get them to, even see this? I know you can see the stop sign, but by habit.
We'll probably have to put a couple stop ahead signs,
Okay.
because it's not really a traffic pattern change, so it's hard to put a sign up that says new traffic pattern ahead. They're not changing patterns.
And in the spring, aren't you looking at speed bumps as well?
Hell no. No speed bumps. Sorry.
That's great. That makes me happy. And the corner of Halifax and South Grand?
You guys had a complaint about visibility, so we're recommending 60 feet each side of South Garand on Halifax be a no parking area.
Oh my gosh, this is so good. You said 60 feet,
Yeah, it takes it to that first pole that's on the
right? No, I've almost hit somebody too.
east side or south side, whatever direction
That's
it
pretty
is.
bad. What are you looking for, an ordinance? Do you need an ordinance?
That also have to be an ordinance, because it's a no parking.
60 feet,
Both sides.
that's good.
Because I looked at it the other day, I stopped at the stop sign, if there wouldn't be anything there to the telephone pole, you can see far enough to be safe. You're not gonna be
60
safe-
feet gives you plenty of time to look
Yeah,
out.
you're not gonna be safe if somebody comes around that corner at 40 miles an hour, but there's nothing we can do about that.
If they don't stop.
Yeah.
I did notice the way the plows were plowing right there. There's a snowbank there, so you can't park there anyway right now.
Yeah, that's the individual
Kind
that's
of like
parking
60
is,
feet worth of snowbank.
yeah,
It's good,
but they won't be there in the summer, so.
yeah.
We had also looked at, which is not on here, there was also the question of speeding on North Garand Street. And we.
And Frankwood Drive.
Well, this one was all one packet.
Yeah.
What
This-
did you
We kind of recommended the same thing, that at Stobie Street on both Boston and North Garand, that we put a 4-way stop on those. So that'll slow traffic down.
So put a stop sign where?
At
For the
the
speeding?
intersection of Stobie
In South Korea.
and North Grand
Oh, North Grand, yeah, I was gonna
Yeah.
say, I don't know where you were talking, North Grand, okay.
and Boston, because
Yep.
if we do one, don't do the other, the traffic's gonna
Yep.
go around the other way. And
No, you're right, yep.
If I might, through the chair, in the affected areas, do you notify the residents before we pass that ordinance? If they have any, they can come in, because some of those, looks like some of those driveways are maybe single car, double car. If they have a visitor, where would they would have, they couldn't park on the road.
Yeah, this is not a parking
that's on
ordinance.
Halifax.
It's a-
Okay.
It's a stop sign issue. It's,
No, the 60 feet?
The
60
60
feet
feet's
is
right on
parking.
Halifax, though,
Yeah.
it's not on someone's front.
Okay,
There's no
okay.
houses
I guess I
there.
gotta go over and take a look, so, okay.
Is that the one by M&M
Yep.
Auto? Right by M&M
You
Auto.
go
Yeah,
past
I-
M&M and it's the
yeah.
first, right
Okay,
there.
Okay.
so that's basically 3 ordinances at the next meeting, if that's what the council decides to do.
Well, I got a funny feeling they'll be on February's agenda. I think, and the people, just so, again, I will say it, those corner of Halifax, South Grand, and Rousseau, they were all brought to me in my district from residents who had the concerns for the four-way. So bringing that has now getting them the safety they wanted, because it was brought up at a meeting, they spoke on it last meeting, and we're gonna get the ordinance done and get it done for them. So again, if the public has any issues or concerns, please bring them forward, so that you can get up and speak on what you'd like to see happen. Thank you, Paul, that was very productive, thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay, next on here, we have an update on Marie Street, and it's sponsored by myself. I want to say to everybody here tonight that we are not kicking the can, we are still in the process. There is we're monitoring it, and we've got just a little while longer before it moves to the next stage. So pretty much that's all we can say right now. But trust me when I say we're following procedures and monitoring it, and you'll be seeing stuff soon. Next up is gates and trespassing signs on Wyman Bog Road, and that is Adams.
Want to get up and talk, Paul? So- I just was wondering who, kind of pretty much who put the gates in and why they were, if that was still a public road. And
It's
if,
still a public road, still owned by the town. It's basically a discontinued road. We looked at discontinuing it a few years ago, and legal advice was not to, because we were to landlock some residents. The abutters asked to put a gate, and the council said yes. Unfortunately, we don't seem to have a whole lot of records of those council decisions, but that was a council decision. It wasn't mine. We helped them put the posts up and put the gate up. As far as I know, everybody that has access in there has a key to the gate. I mean, some of the gentlemen are here that live on the end of the road that are very happy to see a gate there. It keeps the four-wheelers and the dirt bikes from tearing everything up. It stops the illegal dumping that was happening before, because people go down there and
I
dump
remember that.
stuff.
The only end of the road that has no trespassing signs on it is on the south corner, Wyman Road corner. That's
Yeah.
on Pouliot's land. I know Tim and I have talked about doing the same thing on our land where the gate is, but I don't want to go there. I like what's happened since the gate got put up. There's quite a bit of history out there. You know, I have grandchildren. He has grandchildren, and they run back and forth between houses. And when you hear a motorcycle coming, revving its engine, what do?
Oh, I'm sorry, if we're gonna speak, we have
Yeah.
to go
All
up, I'm sorry.
I didn't mean to interrupt you, Paul.
No, that's fine.
and I,
You want somebody with a voice. All right, my name is Tom Averill. I'd like to be able to address the council, men and women, and the chair about the Wyman Bog Road signs. This is on the South Pond Road, Wyman Road, where the signage is. I don't have anything. That's something that the Pouliot's put up years ago, and I don't blame them one bit. I talked with, I believe his name was Roland Pouliot, when he did the gate down at that end, because he had people coming in on his property and using it for a dump. And I understand that totally. On my end of the road, about 10 years ago, I think it was, there was an incident that happened down in the swamp where somebody took a gun to a radiator on a truck that was driving up. They didn't want them there. I came home from work one night, and there was 4 Jersey barriers placed at the end of my neighbor's property line and at my halfway point of my property that goes down right to the bog itself. Called Tim Willett up. I said, Tim, what's going on? He said, well, there was an incident down in the swamp. Somebody shot out somebody's radiator in a truck, and the town decided to put these Jersey barriers up. I was fine and well with that, because I didn't have to worry anymore about, at this time, my kids were still young, and they were still playing with Timmy's kids, running back and forth, and we didn't really have to keep an ear out for high revving engines coming up from the swamp or down our road, because they couldn't get past the Jersey barriers. And then somebody got the bright idea that they could hook a vehicle or something to a Jersey barrier and move it a little bit. So now it reopened that area so motorcycles could come through. About 2 years ago, I came home, Tim come down. He said, Tom, did you see what happened out here? We keep a stop sign at the end of the road because GPS tells you can go through that road. I don't know how many people every week comes down there and sets the end of the road. Where did the road go? They would come up from the swamp because they could get through the Jersey barriers because they'd been moved enough. And they would do donuts on the lawn that I was maintaining. True, it wasn't my land, it was still the town road. But because from where the dirt road stopped until where the Jersey barriers were, that grass was growing up. I was keeping it lawn maintained and stuff. And I said, what the heck's going on? A little respect would go a long way. So I got a hold of Peter Drapo. He came out with Paul. They looked at the area, and they said, well, you need to come and talk to the town. Came and talked to the town. I did my spiel like I'm doing right now. I wanted to see the road closed. But the town attorney at that time said, no, can't do it. There's legalities and everything, and I understand that part of it. I just wanted some respect for Timmy and I that lived there and other neighbors. And we left the meeting, waiting to hear about another meeting. The next thing I know, the Pouliots, I saw Roland Pouliot the day before a gate was delivered by his son Mike, I believe his name is. Town come out, drove 2 steel posts, put a steel gate up.
Name's Kevin.
Kevin, I apologize, Kevin. I'm not good with names. I've been to training for my job, and I can't remember people unless I write it down, and then I lose the piece of paper. I apologize, sir, deeply. So, next thing I know, I got a gate being put up. Roland told me about it, and I said, all right, that's fine. Kevin gave me a key, which is fine. Every now and then, we still have a problem with a motorcycle that comes down the road and likes to do donuts because he can't get through. It wouldn't bother me if that gate went away and people use respect. I don't need to have 4-wheel drive trucks coming up and down that road all hours of the night, motorcycles, ATVs as well, raising hell. I pay my taxes. I love living out there in the country. I've been there since '84. And everybody else that lives down in that area loves it. We don't need people disrespecting our rights and our property, even though it's not mine. I maintain that. And I know if I took my truck, I got a big old Ford, and she loves to throw mud. If I went on that front lawn, I'd have Winslow PD on my tail. And I don't blame them one bit. I wouldn't put up with it. And I don't put up with that at this gate. And that's,
Okay,
I like the
think-
gate.
I think we've we got a good understanding of why the gate's there and how you feel, and I
That's why it got
appreciate
put there,
that.
but that got put there without myself or Timmy even knowing about this was
Oh.
gonna happen.
From what I
That-
can find, I haven't seen anywhere anything that said that they were supposed to go in, who put them in, who purchased them, who owns them, who
If
owns
it's
the
town property
keys.
and the town doesn't have any idea of why it's there, why is it there locked?
There's people that know, and it's a secret place. You don't go there. I've learned that over the years since I've been there. I love living in Winslow. I grew up in Waterville. I wanted to live in Winslow. My wife found me this place, my first wife. I love raising my family out there. I love the quietness of it. But like all governments, there's some issues.
Thank you, Tom.
All right, thank you. Adam, maybe, do you have something you want to add to that? What is it, the
I was
point of
just
it?
curious about how they came about, why they were there, if it was still public road, public land. If it is, in my opinion, there shouldn't be no trespassing signs. I completely understand keeping the trucks and everything out of there, but if people want to be able to walk down through there, or, you know, take their kids and ride their bikes, or ride their horse, or something like that down through there, then they should be able to still use a public road. I tear the vehicles up and everything like that. If it's not a passable road for vehicles, then I get that. I was just trying to get more understanding of how they came about, who owns them, where they came from. If it was a town thing, if the town put them in and said, yeah, we're shutting this road down, or if it was a private decision made outside of the town that said, hey, we're just gonna put these in and it's gonna be what it's gonna be. And if we could give you guys the road or sell it to you and have it like an easement to the landowners that are on there, is that something that would be, and
I'm
then
fine with that.
we could get rid of the whole.
Are you guys able to get through the gate? You guys are,
I
right?
have a key. Tim wasn't given.
You don't have a key?
Tim wasn't given a key, but I have a key. I've used it twice.
But if it's a
3
town
times.
road, why does it get locked?
Well, and if it's a
That's the
town
other
road that's
question.
locked and he lives on the other side, he needs a key.
No, he's on.
He's on
There's
the
a
side
section that's
before it's
locked in the
locked.
middle where there's no
Paul may
houses
know.
in the middle.
Paul said,
That's fine, but we were
This was
talking-
decided at a council meeting in the spring. Kevin was here, and some of the abutters were here, and they all agreed on what they wanted to do. Unfortunately, apparently, the council didn't take a motion and a vote to put it in, to codify it as a rule, but it wasn't a secret decision.
Oh, I don't think it was secret, but some people clearly didn't know about it.
That's right.
So in a sense, it was secret to them.
And there's no record of it being voted on or being
Then
approved or anything that I could
Then I
dig
don't know
up.
how it could have been placed there without a vote on any kind if it's town business that was conducted.
It was, the council approved to have
How long has the gate been
the
there?
people there to put it up.
How long's the gate been there?
Going on 2
2
years.
years now, maybe.
3, 2.5, 3.
And we,
Through the chair, I'd
Just
like
don't
to
drag
add
me into
something,
it.
I'd like to add something to that. And Paul, I know you had helped put that gate on there. Kevin is one of the owners, and Tim Poirier is the other owner of the property. And it was spoken about that if it ever been landlocked, and let's say one of the families decided to sell that property, that could be a development at another time. It could be 10, 15, 20 years from now. But if they gave them the road, that would be landlocked. They wouldn't be able to subdivide it or anything like that. But as far as the gate, I think the gate is a good thing to have there. I mean, probably Tim should have a set of keys. I know Winslow PD has, well, the fire department has, because they have snowmobiles that's going back and forth in there. People can walk down through there because it's not a private road. It is a public road still, even though we don't maintain it. But at least, you know, they have control that nobody's going over there tearing it up. Like, you know, I don't know how those barriers ever got moved because, man, you have to have some heavy equipment on to move that.
Yeah, there was an excavator brought out.
Was an excavator
Yeah.
brought up? Well, see, those barriers should have stayed there. They wouldn't have the problems with motorcycles or anything like that.
You know, and I understand, the person that did it, he has land down at the bottom of the hill, and he wanted to get to his land.
Yeah,
But the town put those there because of an incident.
yeah,
Unbeknownst to Timmy and I, Timmy's the one that called to find out what was going on, why those Jersey barriers got put there.
mm-hmm,
And that's because the town made a decision to close that off. And it was fine, it was working good, everything. Right now, They've taken out the Jersey barriers, except for one. The other two that got taken out, they brought in some huge blocks of ledge. And they put it on the left side of the gate, so a person can walk through or push a bicycle through. You'll never get through with a motorcycle because of the pegs,
Yep.
but you can walk through.
Tom had to put more rocks out there because they were cutting a trail all around everything to go around it with four-wheelers and side-by-sides and
Well, maybe
all-terrain vehicles.
instead of putting no trespassing or something like that, maybe we put road closed or something like that, that'll,
No one found a stop sign.
or no vehicles or,
Did that work, Paul?
no vehicles or
Whatever
something.
you guys want.
You can't say the road's closed if it's owned by the town. The town is the people themselves, so I don't know how you would go about saying it's closed.
Yeah, we're walking a fine
Cannot
line with the
build on our
public.
end of the.
Especially when it's privately gated.
That's all wet.
Yeah,
And I know it's a fine line for the town to walk, because I've been researching on the state, and it's a very fine line to go through, because you have a lot of things you have to cross and check the Ts and dot the Is. So I understand, but yeah, the gate's working right now, but if we could have people with these ATVs and stuff, it's a certain group, from what I'm told. I never can catch them because my legs don't move like I used to.
Through the chair. Paul, you did say something, there's a lot of, there's a lot of work to be done if we close the road as
There's
far
a
as.
lot of legalities to
Yeah,
discontinue a
okay.
piece of road.
So if we have the gate, we keep the gate there, Tim gets a key, Kevin has a key, the police department, fire department, people that want to access that and treat the property correctly, I see no problem keeping the gates on there, because they still can snowmobile, come right straight through, is that correct, Kevin?
At the bottom of the hill, yes.
Yeah.
What if it's gated, and we all get keys, how does that work if somebody comes to us and say, we wanna go down there, we wanna ride our snowmobile or walk or whatever,
Because it's still public.
it's still public.
That's what I was
road.
gonna say.
they can still-
If it's a legal,
Right.
problem to close the road, you have closed it by putting a gate with a
Lock.
key
No,
to
the difference
close the
between
road.
the difference between closing the road and discontinuing it. Discontinuing takes it off the books completely. That's a state statute.
Well, maybe it's just something we should bring up with legal.
we should,
pass it by
because,
legal.
and my concern is what is stopping other people that live off of maybe dead-end roads or anything like
From
that and
doing the same.
requesting more gates or just putting their own gates up? And I completely understand where you're coming from, like times 1,000.
Right.
There's this little red car that goes about 1,000,000 miles per hour past my house every time I'm outside with my son. One of these days I'll catch him. And it's a concern, no question. So I completely understand where you're all coming from. I'm very concerned that it's a public road and it's gated. I'm concerned that other people are gonna feel the same way. And they're just gonna throw gates up and go, well, the town's allowing this to happen over here. Why can't I do it here?
There's a gate on both ends, so you have to address both of them, not just the one at my house.
Absolutely.
But it's a public road, but that hasn't been maintained in probably 30 years, so that makes a difference too.
It does.
I was gonna say longer than 30 years, because I've been there almost that
Is there a
long.
reason we don't maintain the road appropriately?
Yeah, there's nothing
They don't
there.
want traffic
They
going
don't want the
through.
traffic, yeah.
It kind of does seem like we may be punishing the many for the behavior of the few in this circumstance, and so
Put up some game cameras.
that's exactly what I was thinking, Fran,
Yeah.
with this technology that we have nowadays, like
Yeah, we gotta be,
you've got
we
something-
gotta be secretive about
If
it.
you've got something that's 20 feet up in
I
a
was gonna say,
telephone
there's
pole,
brevities for
that's
that, right?
hardwired into a system, maybe.
Yeah, and then it seems like we kind of reduce the risk that you're talking about, Mark, and we make it easier for you all to come and go, but still,
And I definitely would check with legal just to see.
This
If
is a
it-
legal thing. Yeah.
Well, let's do that.
And then the majority of the people that it affects the most, I guess, would be nice to have an opinion from the people that live there.
Yeah.
It would be
I
nice to have.
appreciate that. But just FYI, I have opened the gate for a hunter. He'd been given permission by Tim Poirier, the man that owns land at the bottom of the hill. He hunts on his land, and he shot a deer one year. He wanted to know if he could, if I had a key to open the gate so he didn't have to drag the deer up and fight to get under the gate. I said, here you go, just give it back to him. And I'll do that if I'm told something that makes sense.
Right.
Or if they're showing respect.
That's right.
That's right.
Well, I'm sure we're going to hear more on this. Is everybody finished with that? Adam?
I think so, yeah.
Who said that? I can't hear. Well, but, yeah, I have a chance during public comment.
The way to resolve this whole problem is to resort the road back to the landowners, have an easement made that declares that people can get to their land from either end, and that resolved the whole problem. Because the only people that own land that really has any buildings or anything on it is me and Kevin. The rest of it's all up above the gate.
Can you send that in the form of an email to the town manager, your suggestion? Because we're
I
going
can
to,
send that in the statutes. You just have to, all we have to do is have it surveyed and give the land back to each landowner with an easement, and it's the same thing as it is now. The gates wouldn't be a problem, and it was resolve the whole issue.
send it to the town manager like I suggested, because we're going to pass it through legal, and he can find all that out.
But wouldn't that discontinue the road again, if we did that, if they did that?
Anyway, if we're going to keep discussing, we have to remember, this should have been done
It's gonna
during
give the
public
road to the
comment.
people who have the abutting land to it. Like where you guys are at, and where Tom's at, and where we're at.
What's your name,
And,
sir?
and the town could wash their hands of it. Because
Right,
the town
because
doesn't
there's still
use it.
legality. If someone gets hurt in that road, the town's gonna get sued. I mean, people go out there and they tip the trees to make wreaths, and I'm like, what are you doing? They throw trash. I mean, I have pictures, I have deer cams out there, and I have pictures and everything that needs to be brought up. And you can take a peek at it.
Send me an email.
You got it.
Sir, what's your name? Sir, can I get your name?
Tim Poria.
Thank you.
If I might, through the chair.
I'm almost ready to put this to bed.
Yeah, just send me one
Public
question.
comment was supposed to be done in the beginning, so this will be the last one. This will be the last one.
Where you go?
Okay, so I'm against closing the road. The official status of that road is discontinued.
State your name, please.
Kevin Pouliot, Wyman Road, Winslow. So the official status of the road is discontinued. And if the road is closed, as our previous lawyer told us at the town meeting when we decided to put the gate up, it would landlock people and it would prevent any future development.
Yep.
So, no, that basically gives you nothing. So I'm standing here saying I'm not in favor of closing the road. The gates were put there by my father and Poria put one on the south Pond Road end. And I and the Public Works Department put it up on the Maple Ridge Road end. So that any landowner can just swing the gate open and have access to their land and yet keep the dumpers out. We used to call them midnight dumpers because they'd go in at night and dump rubbish, pollute. So,
The only problem with that is they do that on all the public roads. So you start closing down public roads, everybody's gonna wanna close their public road down because somebody's throwing a couch on their lawn, or someone's throwing a tire out. I understand the trash completely. Don't get me wrong, I completely understand people, it's a dark road, it's dirt, it's quiet, it's out of it, it's gonna be more apt to happen there. But I think we just need to figure out a way where everybody's happy, the town reduces its liability and its issue with it. If we're never gonna use it, we just need to find some way, in my opinion, to give it back to, if you can give an easement to whomever owns land down there, and whether the land is sold or not, that the easement stays active for every parcel that's down there, whether it changes hands from you to your son to somebody else. If that land is owned, they have an access to that land through the right-of-way. I think that would be a way to go about looking at it, where the town could kind of back off, give the land back to the people and let them do what they need to do. And we'd have to make sure it affected everybody equally and it was fair to everybody. So I think it's worth looking through it legal anyway and at least discussing it. And I appreciate everybody's comments and opinions tonight. They've been helpful.
Thank you, Kevin.
Thanh you.
Just quickly,
Go ahead, Ray.
Fred, sorry. If you put an easement, I went out there about 3 years ago, or a couple years ago, I don't know if you were there or not, but there
Been there
was,
since '84, so it might not have been there
Well,
physically, but.
Peter and I went out there. He brought me out there, and I met with a couple individuals. If I can remember, there's 1, 2, 3 houses on one side,
2 houses on one side.
2 houses, and then,
I'm sorry, I'm just gonna say this, and I've been very, very lenient with
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
Public comment is at the beginning of the night. We have gone back and forth, I appreciate all the input, but it's dragging.
Yeah.
And I'm going to stop it right now. We've gotten the butt of everything, and we're gonna move forward, going from this point on. Did you have anything else? We're not doing discussions with,
just with the council, if you had an easement there, then some people, that wouldn't solve, in my opinion. The town wouldn't own it, you're gonna have mud, you're gonna have a whole bunch of things. Seems though, if you put an easement in there, and the town no longer has responsibility for that, then the town would have no responsibility for fixing the road at that particular time. So that's not gonna help some of the people there that have mud and all that type of stuff.
Well, the mud would be, it's prior to the gate that they're talking about, I believe. For the passing, your driveway and everything's before the gate, and that's the area of the road that's really bad. Anything between the 2 gates, there's no houses, there's no nothing, I believe, through there,
I'm
so.
trying to do this right.
No, I'm so sorry. I really, if I would allow every single person to do that, we'd be here all night. I apologize.
It's all right.
I
just wanna
apologize.
clarify the mud.
No, that's okay. I think we got a big picture of what's going on with that road. I think the biggest concern is the gate. And again, are you finished with
I'm
your
good.
discussion?
Yep.
I'm good.
Okay, we're gonna go on to the next one, and I think we're probably gonna have to readdress this again, definitely, after we get legal on it, okay? So let's move on to paving the Wyman Road extension.
Yep.
Oops, I'm so sorry.
Yes, it is.
It is,
It's just, okay, but it's a separate one, right? Correct.
It's the part before the gate.
Sorry.
It's the
And
part
that-
before the gate.
There you go, see, you get to talk
She's gonna
again.
do the talking now.
There you go.
Okay, I
Mike,
brought
that's
that up.
you.
And yes, that road there is the only road that hasn't been paved in Winslow. And it's been out there for at least 50 years. I know I used to live at the end of that back almost 50 years ago. I lived in a trailer. I think that road there has really gone, since Paul has done some work down there, that's really been a lot better than what it was before, because you only could get a car and a half down there when you first went there. I think, what you were telling me, Tim and Tom, that there's an area there that you can still sink, and I think if we could get, Paul, I don't know if this is something we could put into the budget as far as at least fixing the road this year, maybe paving it next year, we can put that into the budget. Would that be so costly to fix the road that they're sinking out of sight and we can't get,
Cost-wise, it's not that expensive. Time-wise, we don't have the time this year.
don't have the time this year to do it?
We've got the Abbott Road that we want to pave, we got Patterson Ave, and then with DOT doing Cushman Road and Clinton Ave, our hands are tied to do manholes, sidewalks, all that extra work. And summer only lasts so
Do you
long.
even have a cost of what that is?
About
And it's a
three-
half a road we're talking about, correct?
$300,000 to rebase and pave the whole thing.
Okay, and we're talking about the same road that there's problems with a school bus,
Yes,
there's problems with a rescue or an ambulance?
yes,
There's, I'm guessing the mail must be horrendous.
yes.
I'm guessing trash is a problem.
Yep.
And all of these people pay taxes. So those are all the services I get, because I pay taxes. I think those people should be afforded the same thing, and I understand you don't have the time, but sometimes some things have to take precedence, and it's an awful thing to
It's up
try
to you
to
guys.
figure it out.
If you guys don't want to pave the Abbott Road this year, we can go do the Bog Road.
Oh, thank you.
Does it take that much longer for a half a road?
There's a month's worth in there, work to do that lower section.
It's a mile long, 0.8 of a mile long.
This is a busy year for work, so we're going to have to cut somewhere else to do it.
All right, so if we push it to the 27, it's still gonna get done, it's a light at the end of a tunnel.
We could reassess the Abbott Road at the same time. I know my constituents wouldn't be too happy to hear about it, but At least they have firefighters and ambulances that can get to their house. It might
That's
be
the part
rough.
that I was listening to the
You know.
most, and that's pretty
Yeah.
scary.
I've had to walk home to get to my house because I couldn't get through the open patch.
Right.
I've actually had thousands of dollars worth of damage done to the underneath my car, Paul knows about it, where I had to get dragged out of that muddy area that still has not been fixed.
And children are getting dropped on Maple Ridge Road and having to get.
It's quite a
Walking
safety.
8, 10 foot mile.
Not
Quite
every
a
child has a
safety.
parent home after.
Yeah.
school
It's
to
more
walk
than
them,
just fixing a
right?
road, it's a safety issue all the way around. I mean, they're not getting the mail, I mean, it's just, they're paying their taxes. I mean, if I lived there, I'd be a little upset, and it's been this way for how long?
Forever.
Forever.
25 years. That's where I've been there.
years.
Why has it never come up?
It's been open since, I remember, that's over 50 years.
Yeah.
We did half of it, I don't know, 7, 8 years ago,
Half of it?
Yeah.
The first half.
the first
No, it's
half.
not paved, it's just,
Roads that are already paved are getting repaved, and it's like, well, what about us?
Great question.
Through the
Not
chair,
about
I think that we ought to really concentrate on getting so it can be passable for rescue, fire, or any of those. I mean, just a simple thing as a bus or mail. I mean, I think that we probably ought to put some other things on hold. I think we ought to do this and get this here right, because they're not getting the services everybody else is getting. Yeah, we're gonna have some people that might be upset because we can't do things, but they do have a paved road, as Councilor
Dodge
Adams
a
said.
pothole or dodge an
Right,
ambulance.
you know, and the
I
thing
mean,
is, they can still get that service. I think the Wyman Road, I really believe that they should have that right now.
That's your call.
Once we start thawing out here pretty soon, it's gonna be bad.
Yeah,
your
I
March,
mean, my
your
truck
March
goes
council
to-
meeting should be I can come to my house, we'll meet in the garage. Try to get there. Try to get there.
We don't meet in
I'm not going down
garages.
that rabbit hole. No, we're going down that rabbit
through the
hole.
chair, Paul, you had said that part there, we have done half of that. And if we could at least get it so that's drivable on there, maybe we can pave it next year, but at least get it drivable over there so they can get emergency units there
It's the
or
mud they're
anything
fighting,
else.
though. It's
That's
the mud they're fighting.
right, that's the other half of that road.
It still comes through, Mike. It still
Even the
comes
other
through.
end, even the end that they did.
What do you think the odds are of playing shuffle?
That's the council's
Still
call.
be from the seat, but the mud is caused by springs in the center of the road as you come down the main.
Yes, there
I'm gonna
is.
say
That's
there's
the
a,
biggest thing
And
that you
it's
gotta
awful.
contend with.
yeah, there's
'Cause
gotta
I
be a
have one
water
out by
main
my
there.
mailbox. There's at
Okay.
least 4 spots that springs come through in the spring.
And there's
Oh,
one
don't
going
look so
up the
excited.
hill.
So is it more about drainage versus paving?
When this road was opened up, they closed the Wyman Road in 1955 from the South Pond Road to about where my house is, actually right out to the Maple Ridge Road. Because deep beavers would come in and build dams and take the road out. The town got tired of repairing beaver damage, so they closed the road. Then the gentleman that, Larry Golding, excuse me.
Yeah, Larry Glasgow.
They talked the town into letting them build 3/4 of a mile in. And not much was done to the road. If I remember correctly, when Paul redid the first part of the road, and put all that 4 square in, he was digging tree stumps out. That was the fill.
Yeah,
Right.
we know.
That's where he dumped everything.
So Paul, let's take a look at that.
Yeah, through the chair. What we'll do is we'll meet, Paul and I, and whoever else needs to be involved.
I'll be
We'll
there.
assess the year, see what we have for work, what can get pushed, and then we'll see what we can do this year then.
Yeah.
We'll try to
Ride out
prioritize.
tomorrow and go down the center of the road. Yeah, no, I mean,
Yeah.
take a ride out tomorrow, because tomorrow's
It's
supposed to be up
started.
40 degrees, it's
Yeah.
already started.
Worst case scenario, it doesn't get done this year, but let's push for it this year, but if it can't, it can't.
That's
And
right.
unfortunately, every spring is different. I've seen some springs where it barely got soft because it
Yeah, but they've
melted.
seen like 25, 30 of them now, so I think they're the
But
experts.
if you get a really quick thaw, then it really turns to mud.
No,
Well,
thank you, Paul.
And then we'll bring it back.
We'll bring it back for
As long as
February.
it's on paper, I'm happy.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Paul.
I think he's great.
He is very good. at
Thank
what
you
he
for all the input you've given us. It helps us to make that decision, to move forward.
does. Okay, moving on, we're going to E, referendum of the school budget. This starts out, it's a two-part. And it began with 2 years ago, for the first time in Winslow's history, I believe, the town council voted against the school budget. With that came a whole lot of confusion with two things. First of all, if we as a council were to vote no on the school budget, then what they said was automatically all of the work the council just did on the budget for that year gets erased, just because you said no to the school. So it gets erased and thrown away, all the work that we did at budget workshops. That's what we were told. Now, you keep in mind, the majority or the people that voted against the school budget were green counselors, and no matter how many directions we went to find the right and correct way to do this, we just kept hitting the wall. We were told, nope, that's not correct. This is what happens, it goes to referendum, and the people vote. The correction now, and the reason I'm bringing it forward, is because going forward, I want every council member to be fully aware. I want every person in the town of Winslow who votes to be aware of the way it's supposed to work. It may never, ever be no to a school budget again. It never may be. But if it is, we want to make sure we go the right way. The first thing they were doing incorrectly, just so everybody's on the same page, I had a meeting with our town manager, with council, our legal, to discuss this. So, and keep in mind, the attorney we have that represents this town, we're very fortunate, specializes in municipal law, and he also sat on a school board for 8 years. So we're going with what he has told us, and I'm going to present it to the people in the council, is the first thing that was incorrect was, it is one budget, a town budget, but it is considered two. Or why would a council work on a municipal budget and the school work on their budget? It's two separate budgets to be approved. They lumped it as one. So then, 2 years ago, it should never have gone back to the town manager's previous, or what that person presented. It should have passed, because we all passed it as a council. Then when the school budget was denied or not approved, it was then up to the school to come back with what they should have done to change it. Instead, it went straight to referendum, and it was illegal, as the chair of the school board pointed out at a meeting here publicly. They realized, or their attorneys had just told them, that should never have happened. It should never have gone to referendum. So all of the people that went out to vote for this very important vote, whether or not to approve the school budget, all of you that voted yes got it. All of you that voted no should have never had to go vote, because it shouldn't have been there until the council approved it. Even on the ballot itself, it said, do you, the people of Winslow, in so many words, do you, the people of Winslow, approve the school budget as approved by this town council? The town council never approved it. So it should, every person that went and voted should have went, but they didn't. Nobody did. It was ignored. It happened. It's all done. Blame nobody, move forward, learn from what we now know. So keep in mind, if it ever were to happen again, that the council voted no, it does not go to referendum. It doesn't go to referendum unless the town council, the people you voted for to represent you, so it's your power that you gave to us to speak for you. So until we, speaking for you, agree to that budget, it doesn't go to referendum. It doesn't mean somebody's got more power, and it shouldn't be that way, because everybody needs to work together. Everybody wants everything to work the way it's supposed to, in the best interest, not only of the school, but of everybody. And that's a very difficult place for us to be. So if it ever were to come to fruition that a town council says no to the school, they're not saying no to children. They're saying, please listen to the people first. That's it. I appreciate the time to explain this to you. If you have any questions, please reach out. I'd be more than glad to explain it. If you need more explanation, anybody listening, watching tomorrow or the next day, again, this is through nobody's fault. It's just now we know the right way to go. There is no doubt, and everything makes more sense. Because now, if we say yes to the town municipal budget, and we were to say no, the town budget still passes. We just passed all that. Why would that get erased? That should never have happened either. So I think it's a positive thing. The school's aware of it. We are all now aware of it. And going down, future generations and town councils, everybody needs to know the right way it works. And it sounds awful, but if it's a no, it doesn't go. So thank you. That was my discussion. Anybody have anything they want to add? Okay, next on the list is lack of pennies from Audra.
That's a me thing. I guess everyone knows the pennies are being discontinued. They're not making them anymore. And that comes into play when we're taking cash payments for taxes, fees, car registration, sewer payments, and the total comes to an odd number where there's pennies. We just kind of need a policy on what we're going to do when pennies kind of disappear. Hopefully we'll be able to get them from the bank and people will bring them in and we can give them back out. But how rounding is going to look if people are coming in with cash. A lot of towns have decided that we could make a kind of an account in our system where pennies will come in and pennies will go out, and hopefully that will offset each other. At the end of the day, there won't be much of a difference. But if you come in and your total comes to 98 cents, we're going to take that next rounded up dollar. Our cash drawers need to balance at the end of the night, so those kind of 2 pennies are going to go into a fund, and then on the flip side, if you need to take 2 pennies out to balance, you can take 2 pennies out. But we'd like to have some type of policy on what's going to happen in case there are questions about that.
Is that an order?
Policy, I think that'd be a resolution.
Really? Dealing with money wouldn't be an order?
Because, well, it's not a large amount of money, it's only, you're talking pennies.
It's a joke.
We're not,
Maybe
we're not spending any money.
it's just a joke, but maybe we could put it in a budget item. It's a joke. Just kidding. Kidding.
So if it's 97 cents, it's actually going to, round down to 95.
Right, so if it
And
was
if it was-
97 cents for a car registration, we would collect 95 cents. And at the end of the night, hopefully someone else has overpaid their drawers would balance out. But if we needed to take a penny from here and there, we'd have a place to take it. And
When
that-
do you plan on doing that? Starting that? As soon
We
as we
still
figure
have
it out.
pennies. We are still getting pennies from the bank, last I knew. We're still getting pennies from residents. If residents want to cash in their pennies and we can give them dollar bills, then we will take your pennies. We're not sure when we're going to actually have to start doing that.
Through the chair.
Yes, Mike.
Audra, how about how many people come in and pay cash opposing to a check or
It's
credit
hard to
card?
tell because every day is different.
We have a
Most
lot-
of the time, we're taking checks or credit cards.
Okay.
Through the chair, if I might.
Yes.
Why wouldn't we, if you round up, then you're saying you'd have to have a special fund or some type of tracking system?
Right, at the end of the night, not mine, but the girls' cash drawers need to balance. So if we're rounding up or down, at the end of the night, there might be a penny here or there that they're gonna need to make their drawers balance.
If you rounded down everything, say 98 go to 95, then there would be no need for.
You'd have to then get money to make up for that.
Yeah.
Instead of giving money,
Yeah, I see.
to the fund, you'd have to take the money.
You're hoping it all
And if you're
balances.
always taking, then that number gets bigger, but if you're kind of offsetting it with the higher ones.
Everything, I know it's pennies, but you're overpaying for something for a
Or
fee that
under.
or underpaying, right?
I mean, you can.
So one person comes in and gets, I know, it's a penny.
It's a penny.
Adam's
To a
paying
lot.
for me, I may be paying for Adam.
Yep, or
That's-
you
that's
can.
the hard part is-
You can pay with your credit card and pay the amount, but you do have the 2%, 2.5% fee to use your credit card. You can write a check. We will take those. If you have pennies at home and can come up with the exact change, we will take your penny.
Oh, my goodness.
I think everything should just round off to 5 cents now.
Is there a reason why we don't do that?
Well, the car registration, it depends on the tax rate for the taxes. For sewer, it depends on the sewer rates. For car registrations, all depends on your excise tax and, how much your car's worth and what the rates are. So I think it would be almost impossible to round to the
Well,
nearest
any
nickel.
monies that the municipal keeps, just round down. It's their money.
I think the state ought to round down.
Round it down. If
I
it's
can't
money
speak
that
for
we're
the
keeping
state.
in the municipality,
I
round
think
it
you'll
down.
find that happening in the future where it's just going to end up rounding up or down and that's it. But I mean, just because they're not being minted anymore, they're still being circulated everywhere.
Right.
So this
I've
is
got a
The long-term.
this is a long-term,
But
issue, but really, I mean, we're starting the conversation now. That way we're just prepared.
we'd
And
like
I'm-
to be proactive on the
Yeah.
situation. Some towns have said they cannot get pennies from their bank anymore. And they're dealing with this situation right now. So we're not in that situation yet, but I'd like to be ahead of the game.
Okay. Number 12 is town council closing remarks. When I saw that on there, I was a little confused because I think we're going to remove that. I'll do it with a show of hands, although I don't think we need to because I don't remember it ever being voted on to place it on our agenda. I'm a little bit worried because town council closing remarks is not very transparent, I don't feel, for people when they look at the agenda to see what our closing comments may be. They can't speak on anything, and that is their right to do.
I was asked by a counselor that's been happening, that it should be on the agenda, so that's.
No, if somebody wants to end a meeting by saying, hey, Merry Christmas, Happy Birthday, you go ahead. You don't need to have that on the agenda to do that. You simply just say through the chair, can I say something? You guys, we can all speak. You don't need permission. To put closing remarks, though.
Through the chair, that was me.
Okay, let's all get a hand together. So the whole thing is I don't believe it should have been on there because we never voted to have it placed on there as a council.
That's fine.
It was just put on. So we're going to remove that. And we will not have closing comments unless you have a comment you'd like to say. You simply just say, hey, I have something to say. And just say it.
Oh, through the chair, I have something to say.
Go ahead, Dora.
I just wanted to remind people when they go online and look at the town line to read the wonderful story of our new town manager. Mark,
Yes, Mark.
Thank you.
I'm happy.
Next on there is executive session, and just to remind people, that's if needed, and there is not one needed this evening. If there was, we probably would have announced it at the beginning of the night, so everybody would have had a heads up as to what it was. Okay? And then I would like to motion to adjourn.
Second.
So moved.
All in
All in
favor?
favor?